Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay? I see 4 faces out of all these screens. So, good morning, everybody. It's good to see a couple of you anyway. So, let me turn down my hearing aid here. It's giving me some feedback. So, okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started. This is going to be a shorter DL meeting. It's about Scan Council tips and techniques, shortcuts. We're going to try to keep it at about a half an hour. We're going to hopefully do a few more of these topics more often to maybe take place of these user meetings that we can't have during this no travel time, and hopefully fill in the gaps of not having these user meetings that we're used to having. So I do have everybody muted. So if you have a question, you'll have to now since we are such a large group. I'll try to watch the chat and answer any questions at the end. If we do run out of time, then I'll try to do it in the follow-up as well. This is not a how to do scanning 101. This is simply tips and techniques for those of you that are using Scan Council. And it might be stuff that we've learned since we've trained you. It might be stuff that we forgot to tell you simply. It might be stuff if you were trained internally from somebody else in your office, they didn't pass on to you. So it might, hopefully it's little things that you'll learn to make your job a little bit easier, and you might have a couple of aha moments. But if you have other document locator topics that you want us to cover in these little short meetings as we go forward, just send us an email and let us know. For those of you who may not know, I'm Becky Uppedahl, one of the image support specialists here at Solutions. A couple of our other team members are online as well. Jody is there. She's our level 1 support. And of course, Allison Herman's there. Linda is one of our customer field advocates. She's on there as well. But if you have any kind of questions or requests for document locator, send an email to DL, that's document locator, at gmdsolutions.com. That in that case, your email will go to the entire team. It goes to Jody, Allison, Linda, or Jody, Allison, myself, Dalton, Sam, Alex, and whoever's free can answer your question first. That way you don't have to wait for us to get out of a meeting, get off a phone call, that type of thing. So dl@gmdsolutions.com. Allison's having a snack. So it's all right.
It's still blurry.
What's that?
Am I blurry?
No, you're good now. You're
okay.
Good. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to share my screen here. And this is my first time doing the Zoom. So I apologize. If it doesn't turn out well, I will re-record this as simply a webinar and we'll get the recording out and available to you that way. But it's our first time trying it. It is a very large group. I think we've had 45 or 46 sign up. So hopefully it goes well and we'll hopefully just improve from here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Okay. Again, this is the Scan Council tips and techniques. Those are my puppy dogs. So if anybody has puppies and you're working from home or kitties working from home, hopefully you're having some fun with that. But so I'm going to open up my Scan Council. And of course, I already have it running. Okay. So this is your Scan Council. For ease of time and just making things a little bit easier today, I'm actually going to drag documents into my Scan Council rather than scanning them directly in. I do have a scanner attached to my PC, but just to save some time, I'm going to drag some documents in, which you can do as well. Why might you want to drag documents in rather than scan them in? If you already have documents saved somewhere on a shared drive or a network drive or your desktop, and you want to take advantage of the batch templates that we have set up, drag them in. This way you can take advantage of the auto naming, auto pathing, reading the barcodes, Everything that we've got set up in the batch class, you can use by dragging some existing documents already in. So I'm going to go ahead and drag some timesheets in. Okay, so here's my timesheets. I'm going to go ahead and resize them just a little bit here so I can see them a little bit better. Okay, and when you have your thumbnails down here, you click through them, verify you have all of your pages, of course, and then a lot of you will go through and you will deskew your pages. If you have a little bit of OCD like me and you want your pages straight, you will straighten them when you see a crooked one. So you'll right click on a thumbnail and you'll deskew it. Some of you don't care, you just let them go on through. It's your documents, you do whatever is good for you. But for those of you who do like to deskew, a shortcut or a tip that you can do is you can actually highlight all of these thumbnails. So what you can do is you can do a Control A, that is a Windows shortcut for selecting all, Control A, and it will highlight all of your thumbnails. You can right click and you can deskew them all at once. Okay, so that's a nice little shortcut. You'll notice that I only have 13 pages, so it's deskewing them. If the more pages you have, the longer it will take, of course. But that will save you some time, and it just does them all your once and done. Okay, nice little shortcut, Control A. When you have them all highlighted, there's some other things you can do on this right menu. If you scan them in upside down, not that we would do that, of course, but if you scan them in upside down and it didn't rotate them for you, you can rotate them all at the same time as well. So there's some things you can do in here that you might want to do with all of them highlighted at once. Okay. If there's a page you need to remove, just a reminder here, you can right click and say remove the page. When you have your page highlighted that you need to be that you want to remove, you can also have it highlighted and you can click this red X right here and the little toolbar in the middle. You can also have your thumbnail highlighted and hit delete on your keyboard. So there's several ways for you to remove a page. Now, if you're like me, you will right click at some point in time and do a remove all, and it will remove all of them. Whether you have 1, 5, or 50 of them in there, it will remove all of them, and there is no saving that. I don't have a magic wand. Allison doesn't have a magic wand. We can't bring them back for you. You have to rescan them, okay? But you'll do that at least once, just so you know. Okay, so what happens if you have a batch going and you can't finish? If you've only got 4 or 5 pages in there, it's not that big of a deal just to close your scan console. You lose all of your pages. It's unloading it. My pages are gone. You can't, it doesn't save them for you. Okay. If you've only got 4 or 5 pages, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're in the middle of, let's say, of a batch of claims, 100 pages, 200 pages, or a batch of motor vehicle titles, same 100 pages, 200 pages, maybe you don't want to just close and start scanning over again. What you can do, I'll drag my timesheets back in here. I do want to mention this at the beginning, just because I'm going to show timesheets or real estate documents or motor vehicle documents, don't let the type of document I'm showing make you not pay attention. The tips and techniques I'm showing are for all offices, regardless of what type of document I'm showing, okay? So again, what happens if the doctor calls and you have to leave all of a sudden and go get your child from school, or the utility company calls and says, we're going to be shutting the courthouse down here in 20 minutes, whatever the case might be. What you can do, again, is you can select all of your thumbnails. So I'll do the Control A. You could also highlight the first one, hold your shift button down, and highlight the last one to highlight them all, grab them all. I do a Control A, but you can do a right click then once you've got them all selected, and you can do a Save As. Okay. Once you have that, I just save them to my desktop, and I'm not very creative, so I just label them whatever they are and the date that I'm doing it. So desktop and whatever they are. So then I hit save. And then before I actually close my scan console, I make sure they're actually out here. So I'll open it up. And there are the 13 pages that I had in scan console. So now if I close that, I can close scan console. I can go get my child from the school. I can lose power at the courthouse. I can go wait on the customers at the counter, whatever the case might be. And then when I'm ready to finish, I can reopen scan console. I'm going to slide this over to the right here, and I can just drag those pages back in. So any cleanup I've done, any de-skewing I've done, any removing of blank pages I've done, it's all still there like I had previously, and I can just continue on my process. I don't have to lose it. So if you've got a, especially if you've got a big batch like claims or motor vehicles or anything like that, don't think you have to lose your batch. Okay. So just another little tip and technique. So, okay. All right. Now what happens if I've got all these pages scanned in and I realize I have the wrong batch selected? Don't remove them and rescan them. Just come up here and change your batch class. You can do it at this point in time. So I should be in timesheets. I can change it right there. Even if I had it on the wrong one and I had already hit import and I probably got some sort of a message saying OCRing or something wasn't right, or in this case, it matches whatever the criteria was for my vendor docs. Even at this point in time, if I realize it's really not vendor documents, I can cancel out of here and I can come up here and I can select the right one, timesheets, and then do the import again. You do not have to delete your pages and rescan. Okay, don't do that. Save yourself, save yourself some time. Okay, all right. Once you're in here, there's a couple of tips and techniques and shortcuts to use in here as well. If you're in here and you've got an import process going and there's a like property for all of these documents. So for example, these happen to be payroll documents or timesheets. So the pay date would be the same. I can again highlight all of my files. So I can do the Control A. So now they're all highlighted and I can put that same date on all of them. Let's say it was for the 1st. Okay. So now if I click through my files, they all have that same date on them. And I did not have to key it on every one. So now all I would have to do is key in the employee number on those records. That's applicable if you're doing real estate documents and you want to put the type of document on there, or if you want to put the same reference on there, or if you're dealing with vendor documents and you want to put in a date on them, or on real estate applications, you want to put an expiration date on them. Anything that's the same on all of these files, you can highlight all of them, put it on there, and then go through your individual files and put in whatever piece might be different than on the individual files. Okay. All right. If there is something that didn't divide correctly here in your files, let's say for some reason on file 2, this page actually should be part of file 1. What you can do on file 2 is you can actually right click and you can cut the page or pages from file 2. You can go to file 1 or wherever they actually belong, come down in here and you can right click and you can paste. So now file 1 has my 2 pages and file 2 does not have any pages, and you'll notice it's unchecked. Okay. That's a way for you to actually make the files correct once you get into the import process. This is a great feature when you have something that's a little bit out of the ordinary and Document Locator and Scan Council doesn't know how to divide it. Okay. Or if there's a file here that you really want to take a look at before you import it, maybe you don't want to do the timesheet for file 5. Maybe there's something about Curtis's timesheet we want to take a look at, or there's something goofy about it. We want to take a look at it. We don't want to import it. We can uncheck it. We can import all the rest and it will leave file 5 for us. Okay. So you don't have to import everything all at the same time. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this here. I am going to go ahead and remove all of my timesheets here. It does ask if you want to remove all the pages. So there is kind of a little safety measure there, but sometimes you're busy and you still say yes, just so you know. I'm going to bring in some other type of documents here so you can see them. So here's some homestead applications. Same type of thing, the shortcuts still apply. I could de-skew them all at once. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change my batch template, do my import. Again, these are homesteads. I don't have it set up in my batch template to tell me that, so I can highlight all of them again. And I could say that they're homestead applications. Okay. And then I would just need to go onto the individual files and put in the parcel ID. Just a little shortcut for you. Okay. Another thing we get asked a lot is, what if for some reason I don't want to import these right here? I just want to import these 2 pages right here. I can just go ahead and highlight these 2. I can right click and I can say import selected, and it will only bring these 2 pages forward and it will leave those other 2. Okay.
Hey, Becky, Becky,
Yeah.
how did you get 2 documents to be highlighted?
I clicked on one of them and I held the control button and clicked on the other one. Excuse me while I take a drink of coffee. Great question, Allison.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and remove these. Another question we get asked is, how can I add pages to an existing document through Scan Council? What you would do is you would check out your document through Scan Council, scan in your page or drag in your additional page, and then check it back in. So I'm going to do that with a title. So I'm going to do File, Check Out. And there's not a great search here like there is directly in Scan Council or in Document Locator, so you do have to drill down. So I'm going to go to Motor Vehicles. I'm actually going to pick on one from Allison here. So we're going to grab a title. This is the document I want to add a page to. So I've done File, Check Out, found my document. And it opens it up just like I had scanned it in. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and put a document in my scanner. And I had my catch tray out today. Normally I don't have my catch tray out and papers go flying. So here's the page I'm adding. It's a lien release page. Again, I'm not very creative, so this is what we have.
Hey, Becky,
Page 6, yes, ma'am.
we're getting a comment that's kind of hard to hear you.
Okay. I'm not sure what else I can do here. Is that any better?
Well, I can hear you okay, but go ahead and keep talking. We'll find out.
Okay, I can hear Allison really well. So
I can
Might
hear
just
you
be-
as well.
Might just be a couple people or one person, so go ahead.
okay,
I'll let you know.
perfect. Thank
Turn
you.
the volume up on PC.
Okay. So I've added my page and I can move that around if I wanted to. Let's say I want it to actually be page 2 in this case, or page 3, whatever the case might be. I can move it around wherever I want to. Do not worry about the numerics here at the bottom of the thumbnails. That is just the ID number of the thumbnail. You can move them around wherever you'd like. And at this point, I'm going to take out that blank page on the document as well. Okay, so I have the document the way I want it with this additional page. And then I'm going to do a file check-in. And there it is checked out. I'm going to say save. So you'll notice it was a PDF and it was still able to bring it into Scan Council, open it up and allow me to add a page to it. This would work if it was a Word document, if it was a TIFF document, it would allow you to do it the same process. Okay, it doesn't matter what type of document it is. Okay. And it's going to take just a little bit to convert it because it was a PDF. Those are the tips and techniques that we have. Again, we wanted to keep this meeting kind of short, So I'm going to open it up to questions. I don't think I'm going to unmute because there's about 45 of you on there, and I don't think we want 45 people trying to talk at one time. So if you do have a question, feel free to send it through the chat here. Like I said, we're going to try to get the meeting recorded and put the recording out in some fashion. If it doesn't turn out to be a great recording, I can do it as a webinar and just do a straight recording of me talking as well. So if you have a question, feel free to put it in the chat and we'll see what we can do to answer it. If not, that's what we have today.
Becky, can you see the chats?
I can.
Okay.
Here's my check-in box that came through. So I'm just going to check it in as normal.
Just want to go through those steps real quick again.
Yep. We're going to pick on Allison again. So I'm going to check out a document. And I'm going to check out this title. And it remembers the path that you drilled down to last time.
What did you click on there, Becky, to check that out?
File and check out within Scan Council, and then you drill down to your document. And this time we'll add the agenda here. Scan in a page, or 2 or 3, whatever the case might be. So here's my additional pages. I can tell I didn't scan this in originally because I would have been OCD and on the crookedness. My OCD would have kicked right in there. So once you have your pages in and you like where they are, then you're just going to click on File and Check In and save. It's a great way to add pages to a document you already have out there. And we do get asked that a lot. So if it's a tip document, you could also add it through Black Ice, but that's a topic for another day. There's various ways to do things through Document Locator, and this is just one method. So. Okay. It's going to go ahead and save it in and check it in. It doesn't look like we have any questions. It does sound like a couple people had trouble hearing me, so we'll work on that for the next one. Oh, we do have one question. After scanning and the scanner drops several pages and they need to be rescanned, is there a way to highlight all the pages in order of placement and then move them? If I'm understanding your question, if you don't have your catch tray out, like I have not, can you move more? If I'm understanding your question is, can you move more than one page at a time? It doesn't seem to work that way, no. If I highlight 2 of them and try to move them, it only moves 1 at a time, if that's your question.
I wonder if she means if you were to highlight them all and, yeah, it's not capable. I don't think it's capable.
Yeah, no.
If they would put them in order by the number of the page on the bottom, but no.
Yeah, no, it doesn't do that, and you can't move more than 1 at a time. So, yes. Great question. Barb says, I got her question answered. Barbara said that, so yeah. I have dropped my pages many times. There's lots of late night security videos in courthouses of me picking pages up off the floor because I did not put the catch tray out. So all right. Again, we're going to try to do these short meetings, keep them short because everybody's busy. Everybody's got a lot of things going on, but we're going to try to do quick little topics. So if you have something you want to see covered, let us know. Document Profiler is going to be one of them. Kofax will be one of them. Importing, dragging and dropping, saving directly from Word, Excel, Adobe, that type of thing. So if you have a topic you want to have covered, let me know and we'll add it to the list. But we're going to try to do these every few weeks, and we'll work on getting some sound quality better and get the recordings out to you. So if there's no questions, oh, I see Jody might have a question.
Hi, wave.
Jessica is 18 now.
Say, Becky,
Yes, ma'am.
there was a question, can we get copies of your cheat sheets?
Of my agenda?
I think cheat sheets meaning
how-to books.
documental- yes, how-tos.
Oh, yes. We actually have several of these quick guides out there. I'm going to go ahead and minimize this screen here. If you go to our website, which they just revamped, so it's a great question, www.gmdsolutions.com. And I just did this yesterday. They just revamped this in the last few weeks. If you go to support, no,
I think it's under Explore.
thank you. If you go to, thank you. If you go to Explorer and Document Locator Usage Guides, here's all of our little quick guides that we have currently. And I'll try to put these in a Scan Council tips and techniques. There is a basic Scan Council instruction booklet out here. And some of these are in there. I'll either make sure all these are in there and we'll update it, or we'll get a separate quick guide for this. So, but again, this is gmdsolutions.com, Explore, and Document Locator Usage Guides.
Hey, Becky, I'm going to repeat that because someone can hear me and not you.
Okay.
So get some of these usage guides if you go to www.gmdsolutions.com, and then from the homepage, go to Explore, and then this document locator usage guides. Then you'll get, this is all the kind of quick guides that we have out there. And there's one that's Scan Console. Are they in alphabetical order?
I think so.
So it's basic Scan Console, and we're either going to update it and put some of these tips in there, or some of the tips are already in there. So we'll work on getting some of that. But all of these guides are pretty short pages. There might be one that's 10, I don't know, but that you can print out or kind of look at that give you step-by-step directions. There's basic steps, and then there's detailed steps in all of them. So, and if there's another one you'd like a guide for, please let us know. And Jody would be happy to do that for you.
That's all I've been doing for the last week and a half, it seems. Right above, add or remove pages in Scan Council. So that's a nice one. We get that question a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, if there's nothing else, thank you for the people that were brave enough to turn their cameras on. I appreciate that. And until next time, I think maybe either once a month or once every 3 weeks or so, we'll try to do this. So we'll try to get the sound fixed before then. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Nice seeing everyone.